I would like to begin by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land on which we meet today, the Arakwal people of the Bundjalung Nation, and pay my respects to the elders past, present, and emerging. Are you ready to win at the game of life? Well, throw out that rulebook and get down to the business of being the best and most authentic version of you. Welcome to the Human Design Podcast. We're changing the rules around success, abundance, purpose, love, and life, where we're creating a planet where everyone can thrive in a world that loves and supports each other. I'm your host, Emma Dunwoody, a qualified master coach, human design expert, podcaster, and entrepreneur that is living the life of my dreams, breaking all the rules while doing it, making a huge impact, and living my design and manifesting miracles on the daily. Join me as I break down and simplify everything you need to live in alignment with your human design, teach you how to recondition your unconscious mind for greatness, and to take back your power so you can manifest your heaven on earth and serve the rest of the planet at the same time. It's time to give up the fear and step into your highest potential, to reach for the stars, to know and live your greatness. It's what you deserve, and it's what the planet really needs from you. So buckle up and enjoy the ride. Remember Angie Lee from episode 346? You know the one, the highly successful reflector that has mastered marketing. She's mastered entrepreneurship and business, speaking, and so much more. Well, Angie and her boxer and entrepreneur brother Mike have created a line of CBD products to help people heal physical pain and anxiety. Angie actually sent me some of her sleepy gummies and CBD oil drops back before I interviewed her, and they were an absolute game changer for me. Since going through early menopause, my sleep had never been as good as it had been before I went through it. But taking their sleepy gummies has been a game changer, and I feel like my sleep is finally back and I'm feeling better than ever. In fact, funny story, Taylor actually tried out their out-of-office THC gummies while she was over there in the US, because obviously she's not allowed to bring them home to me in Australia. And she was not only like super chilled out, really it helped her mind slow down and be pretty quiet, which is not very often for her. And she managed to sleep for 12 hours straight. So they were super good. Soul CBD products are designed to address physical pain and anxiety, as these are the challenges that Angie and Mike understand firsthand and struggled themselves with for a long time until creating these products to heal themselves. Their promise to you is that with Soul CBD products, that firstly, wellness never tasted so good. And all their products are scientifically formulated to maximize bioavailability and effectiveness. Everything is grown in the US, organically farmed and gluten-free, and they triple test all their batches for potency and safety. Soul CBD are the real deal, made by amazing humans with a sincere mission and high standards to deliver quality and results. So if you want to get your hands on some of these beauties, then follow the link in the show notes for more information. Hey, and welcome to today's episode. Well, today I want to share some things with you that I've been studying, things that I'm fascinated with. I mean, you've heard me talking about this stuff before, but of course, there is that MG part of me that wants to map all of this stuff back to human design. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a window into what goes on in my head. So what am I actually specifically speaking about? Well, I've been doing so much study recently, and I mean, I've been learning about this for decades now, but really understanding quantum, the quantum reality that we're creating. And quantum physicists, along with, spiritual leaders or channels like Bashar or all sorts of different angles, are now talking about the probability that we live in a multidimensional reality. I know if you're listening to this, you're kind of like, oh, duh. Yeah, I'm onto that. But even more than that, that we are actually living in this multiverse, meaning that every moment that we make a choice every now and now and now, every moment, instead of it being the next moment for us to be present in, which it is, and it's super important to be, that what we're actually starting to discover in science, and as I said, there's a lot of spiritual texts. I mean, I'm reading Reality Transurfing right now. They talk about it a lot in that. I was just watching an interview on Gaia. Like, this is a big thing, that when we talk about time is a construct, okay? If you're listening to this podcast, you've heard me talk about this in the past. I actually teach this in a program. But oftentimes it leaves us with this thing like, what do you actually mean that time is a construct? And if time is not real, how can I manipulate it in my favor? Because so often I feel like I don't have much time. Is that you, friend? So the point is what we are now discovering is that the probability is that there is only one moment right now. And in each moment, we're choosing to be the person that we're being in that moment, which is creating our reality. Now, we perceive that there is a past because the moment before that moment, in the human mind, in the human brain, there has to be from somewhere to somewhere. There's this journey, time and space. However, what we are moving towards is this, that in every moment we can choose who we are being and therefore choose our reality and therefore jump from one timeline to the next, to the next, to the next. Now, hang in there with me, especially if you're kind of like, girl, what the hell are you talking about? This isn't human design. I'm going to talk to you about that in a minute. But the point is that how we know where we're at, and timelines, again, this is quantum physicists have now come to know that are talking about the probability that there's a bunch of different timelines. We're living all of our realities at once. In this world that we're all in, we do work like the inner child work, which is accessing the past. And we know when we heal inner child stuff, we change our past. Oftentimes, the way I would see that is, well, we change our subconscious mind. So that's how we change the past. But actually what quantum physicists are now saying is, no, you actually changed your past, the past, because you've jumped to another timeline. So one of the things I've been doing for years is I'm always saying, my intention is to go to my highest timeline. My highest timeline is the one where I'm most evolved. So I've been playing around with this for ages. And honestly, I do feel like life is incredibly magical for me. Even in the hard stuff, it's like when we ask to go to our highest timeline, it's like best case scenario. Okay, best case scenario. So play around with that, my friend. Now, the next thing that I want to layer onto this is, well, if we're creating from the moment, how do we know what to create? And the coolest thing is they're all talking about passion. What lights you up, what you're excited by, what you have energy for, what you're obsessed with, what that creative urge wants you to do or be. And it's so cool because they're not talking about human design, yet it is what human design is teaching all of us. You, me, the experimenters, that how do we create our reality? How do we experience our highest timeline? Well, we follow our human design. We follow our strategy and authority. And even more than that, we become so aware of how our energy is designed to guide us. So what do I mean? Okay, manifestors. Let's go back to that creative urge, because that creative urge is your higher self, the universe, God, whatever you want to call it. That is what's guiding your soul through this lifetime. That is the energy that's going to lift you up and pop you onto the higher timeline. That's the energy that's like, oh my goodness, this is really what my soul is here to do. I'm not getting stuck in the weeds in my mind and the Maya, like really the Maya. I'm actually like listening to my heart and soul because this creative urge is moving through me. So generators, are you focusing on? Like your sacral energy is trying to show you in every moment your passion. Follow your passion and everything else will fall into place, right? This is so true. Now, it doesn't mean it's perfect and easy all the time, but it means like, do I have passion for this? Do I have energy for this? Because if I do, that's my higher self putting me on the highest timeline. That's my higher self. That's my heart guiding me to the place that my soul came here to go. How good is that? Manifesting generators. Same goes for you. It's all about that, having that like creative intensity energy that you have, that you get from your manifestors, and from the generators, that lit up energy. Are you excited? I mean, you can hear my enthusiasm and my excitement for this. Just like, you cannot make this stuff up. And this is why I get so frustrated that people get so stuck in the knowledge with human design instead of out in the experimenting with life. Because let's stop trying to get it right and actually live in alignment with it, because there's a much bigger impact to be had than trying to get your human design right. It's really about learning how to dance with the quantum, how to really deeply create your own reality, right? So projectors, the energy, how does it feel for you to be invited in? How does it feel for you to obsess about something? How does it feel to be in that place where you just want to develop more wisdom about something, or you want to improve upon something? Because this is your heart and soul trying to lift you up onto that higher timeline. So do you know how that feels in your body? And for my beautiful reflector friend, here's the thing. Are you living a life where you are consciously aware of the people, the places, the opportunities, and how they make you feel? Are they making you feel good? Because if they're making you feel good, then your heart and soul is lifting you up to your highest timeline. How good is that? I mean, seriously, how good is that? Our human design, as I say over and over and over again, it is a treasure map. And this map is going to take you to the treasure that lies within you. And as we go down this path of really understanding the universe, and quantum physics, as Bruce Lipton says, is the most reliable science we have. And it's starting to show us things that we couldn't even fathom 10 years ago. So imagine what we're going to be living, the reality we're going to be living in a blink of an eye, in the next moment. How exciting is that? So I want you to have a play around with this idea of everything is happening right now. And that where free will comes in for us is in the choices we make. And are the choices you're making the ones that are aligned with your heart and soul? And if you don't know, then go back to your design. Are you feeling your signature and your not self theme? Because if you're feeling your not self theme, the answer is a no. If you're feeling the signature theme, the answer is a yes. Like, dive in and be like, okay, I want to know my highest timeline. I want to be guided by my heart and soul. I want to play with this quantum reality that we live in. And I want to see what I can experience. And that could be everything from changing billions of lives to growing the perfect rose. It could be anything. And again, you're the only one that knows what that is for you, because you have this beautiful inner guidance system and external guidance system, source, soul, strategy, that's guiding you to those things. Anyway, it's another short and sweet one for you today. And hopefully I've given you some really cool things to ponder about the nature of reality and how your human design specifically teaches you how to get the most out of that, how to experience your highest timeline. Thanks, everyone. I trust you got what you needed for today. Bye for now. Thanks, everyone, for being here all the way to the end of the podcast. I hope you got lots of value out of it. I certainly had a lot of fun doing it. Could I please ask that you share this podcast with friends if you found it valuable? And also, bonus points, Could you leave a review for me as well on Apple? It would be greatly appreciated. If at any point you would like to be on the podcast, or you've got questions that you'd like me to discuss on the podcast, by all means get on my socials and DM me. Everything you need is there in the show notes. Have an awesome day. Bye for now.